and we continue to consolidate here in the cryptocurrency market, we will look at a couple key areas of where we anticipate us going. And if you're watching this now, if you're watching this after the live, please make sure to hit that like button. I very, very much appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this, to participate, to comment, to try to enlighten yourself on what's to come. Maybe you see something in my title that might sound different than a lot of other people are saying right now, so you're curious of what's going on here. So I appreciate however you found my channel. As we just recently went over 47,200 subscribers, I'm eternally grateful for that. To all the members of Tom's Army, anybody who's ever sent a YouTube super chat or shared even this content, I have a special thank you for all of you, especially the members of Tom's Army who help run and support this program, as it's all from a pay-it-forward mentality. I've been doing this since March 24, 2021, and I'm proud to say it's all stayed from behind a paywall, and I don't advertise nothing. So you just come in here, you learn, and you do what you got to do and get out. Dan Marginal, Michael Shane, and Big Dog, thanks for being in Tom's Army 3+ months with the XP Meteor. Ben B, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year at the I Told You So badge. Nickel Trickin, thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Omar, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your second month with the Dust Shadows Crypto News. Let's see, Moza here, Crazy Paul Mark Casson, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Dennis Smith and Daniel Milica, thanks for being in Tom's Army 3+ months with the XP Meteor. Jacoby, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XP Predictor. Nick Morales, great to see you in here. What a day to have you in here. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Also, a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram. It says TA with TA. That's right, Tom's Army with technical analysis. And it's even a better spin when you consider my name is actually Tom. Tom. I think it's pretty cool spin on it. That's why I think it's so cool. Tom's Army technical analysis. It's a great spin. I love it. But back to the serious. Training with J-Ride, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 4 years with the XRP Phoenix badge. A really good evening. So awesome to see you in here. Says heading to a volleyball game. We'll watch after. Well, good luck. Good luck at the volleyball game. And hopefully I live up to your expectations when you watch this later. But I'm glad you're in here. Be safe, Aurelie. Have a blessed evening. Burn Everything, welcome in. David Nikitsa, welcome. Joseph Goudreau, good evening. Jorge, welcome in, and thanks for being a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram, and also in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Beautiful, beautiful. Alex, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. And also a $5 donation through the super chat. That is extremely generous. Thank you so much for that, my friend. That's a beautiful gesture. I really appreciate it. Frankie Fresh, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XP Predictor. I hope Janine's doing fantastic and you're both blessed. And I hope your hand's ever so slightly improving as the day goes on and as the weeks go on. Tom Crosswhite, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. Man and his dog, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. And Christopher Brown, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens, along with Messi. I thought I caught up, but apparently not. Tom is the bomb. I remember people used to call me Thomas the Bommus when I was younger, for some reason. Messi, I already said hi to Messi. Let's see. Ben B, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Messi and Christopher Brown in your first month. Matthew, good evening. Let's see. We're on a good track here to say hi to everybody, so we don't gotta. Israel, welcome in. Mark Korf, good evening. With Robert Latham, thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first months with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Mike Oxmells, welcome in. Says I traded my XRP to the neighbor's wife for a handy. Hey, you gotta sell a little less of those now to get some of that those services, huh? You gotta sell a little less XRP at 240 rather than at 35 cents. So at least there's always that. There's always that. It's not costing you as many tokens. But good evening, everyone. Lori, welcome in. I'm glad to see you in here, love, as always. So let's get to business. Oh, first, good evening. 6:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Wednesday, October 15th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Don't be this guy. Don't end up looking like this after this alt season. You know how many times I've had to see the audience look like this? I don't want to see you look like this. This is Phil. This is Phil. His dad was Richard, but he's still outside and he's skinified. Phil was in the crypto market. Phil's testicles fell out and he forgot how to read the macro chart. Phil became ballless in the micro and it cost him a whole macro picture. Don't be Phil. Keep your balls in place. Keep your testicles. And if you lose it at all costs, stay in the community and pick up a little confidence. Confidence. So that's oh, he got more than liquefied, Frankie. He got more than liquefied. After he made a bad bet, he took out a reverse finance on his house and said, I can surely stay ahead of that mortgage rate. When that didn't work, he started selling sperm, and then his balls fell out because he lost them. So then he's just done. So don't end up like that. Pay attention to the actual overall formation. He's still happy though, see? It's never too late. He now knows he's got a roll. He's Phil. That's Phil. We like Phil. We like Phil. I just made that up on the fly, but Phil's a new part of my pro. I like Phil. Especially during the holiday season. I told you I can just talk. I don't know what happens. God gave me the ability to just roll with it. I should be on stage is what should happen. 1970 legend, what's going on? I'm sure he's here to gloat this evening. The defending national champion, as he watched his Michigan take it up the ass over the weekend. Excuse my French. Bends us over the weekend to USC. It's embarrassing, but I've never seen us win over on that side of town, which would be playing a night game on the West Coast. I don't think in my lifetime, so. But anyhow, I love my Buckeye. 1970 legend, thanks for being a very trusted mod in here. I really appreciate it. And there's no doubt about it. The best coach in college football is coaching Ohio State. The best team in college football by consistency is Ohio State. So I'm just grateful for the fact that Ohio State's always so good. So every 20 years it pushes us to do something and then we win a title. Other than that, we get destroyed outside of the 90s. But hey, we've had a 4-year run that I'm sure for the next 14 I'm going to have to see us lose. So I embraced it. I enjoyed it. But Sharon Moore needs to be fired, and I digress. This is not a Michigan football channel. Oh, you know I've said it forever, 1970 legend. I know. It's the truth. The only reason Ohio State couldn't compete with Alabama and such in some years when they'd get rolled by the SEC, they were paying players, but they weren't paying players to that extent. They didn't have the budget. Not yet. They weren't willing to go around the wedge. So anyhow, let's get back to business here, folks. The Fine Group, welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the Extra Beat Predictor. And also a very trusted mod in here, and the Telegram says, hey everyone, hit that like on the way in. The Telegram, consider subscribing and joining Tom's Army for the best technical analysis on YouTube. If you are not in the Telegram, you're missing out by it. You're missing so much. So much. So much. It's actually in the midst of transforming again, which is interesting. I know Defined is watching. It's an interesting clash between the old and the new. And it'll always be like that within community. You need the old souls to push the perspective and the agenda of the community, and the new souls to keep it fresh. But also you need the new souls to fall in line and not mock the old souls for their old ways because they know a thing or two. And the old souls can't mock the new souls for being fresh because they can bring new perspective and they can't be too big-headed as the old souls. You see what I'm saying? And that's not just in the Telegram, that's in here too. James Jackson, Mr. Jackson, it was an honor meeting you. It was on when they had the walk through the school before the school year started. Small world, isn't it, my friend? And you were very nice and polite when you came up to me and Julie and my son. And I appreciated how how friendly you were, to be honest. So it was an honor. The honor's all mine, my friend, Mr. Jackson. Mr. James Jackson in the house. Love it. Love it. It's a small world. Small world. And he did it so casually, too. I loved it. John Bugathorpe, welcome in. Love seeing you in here. Hopefully your soul has cleansed some, and, you know, after, I don't want to go over your business, but I hope you're doing blessed. I'm glad to see you in here. And you say, hey, Tom, any sense of what XCC might do between November and Q1? Projection suggests only 13 cents unless I misunderstood. The 13 cents doesn't have a timeline when it gets ready for that part of the movement. Now, remember, if this falls out, there's two ways to look at this. One, we've already put in the floor, and we're putting in the inversion, but we might not have put the complete bottom. And why I say that? No, I take that back. It could stay in this formation. Because technically, when I look at this, I'm looking at this all the way back in 2024 in May, and I want to see how this reacts. Now, I'm not 2024. What the hell am I talking about? 2021. I want to see how this reacts from 2021. And I want to see, I think this formation is the formation, but if it falls out, we would come down possibly to 2.9. But we are finding ourselves, folks, and let me say this again, and I've been saying it, let me say it again, let me say it twice, let me say it 4 times so you might hear it all the way in the back, especially if you're sitting in the back of the BCB. And you can speculate what that means. I'm just talking about, you know, beans, coffee, and bananas. If you're in the beans, coffee, and bananas rows, I think you know what I'm talking about. You may be going bananas if you're still watching that poll. But oversold massively in the daily, which I don't really care about. Oversold in the weekly, which I care about, and at the levels it's getting to. Monthly, now we want it to be neutral. And now the monthly is getting towards neutral. Now, if this falls out and for some reason we have a catastrophic drop, why would you be afraid? Like, literally, why would you be afraid? Don't be afraid. So there is no timetable, John, Mr. Bugathorpe, which I love your questions because you always put us on the spot. So, Tom, I know you don't give, and I love how he does it so casually. I love this guy, too, by the way. This is not, I'm not mocking in the least. I'm actually respect how he does it because he doesn't hold no. He just says it in a nice, respectful way and allows me to get through what I need to do, and he never interrupts. He just lets me finish my point. Hell, we've even talked on through text and stuff. Which I kind of feel like I missed the text message, but I don't know where it's at because I just don't know where it's at. But I remember reading one, and I feel like I never responded to the last one. It was a nice one. But anyhow, he's always like, I know you don't give timetable predictions, but on this date, about 8 weeks from now, in this wide window of 7.5 weeks, where do you think it could end up? I don't know. No, now the 13.7 cents... which I admire your tenacity for knowing the details, is right now, if we're looking at projection, resistance 1, resistance 2, we're looking for resistance 3. The good news is we've had support 1, support 2. So, and you could make support 3, and I know because I had it on here before, but you can make support 1 and then had a big bounce up. Support 2 had a big bounce up. Support 3 had a big bounce up. Resistance 1 down to support. And then all of a sudden we just couldn't get back up there. Couldn't get back up there. Couldn't get back. Hey, Margarita. Now all of a sudden we're out there. We're back out in the stratosphere. We have went through the black hole of destination to reach our final galaxy. The problem is we could not find the god-darn black hole, and we got sucked into the crypto winter because we took a wrong turn and ended up in some fucking toxic wasteland where there was no opportunity. Now we found ourselves out into that stratosphere. See all the black? See how it's a big black hole there? There's opportunity. We're outside of the consolidation. All of the hard part is over. It's over. The hard part is over. Sure, it might go down 25% or 50%. Who the fuck knows? The hard part is over, though. Remember when it was way overbought and you had to beg yourself? Maybe you even bought it when I was begging you not to with everything. You had to control your trigger finger for these moments. Now, if somebody said, Tom, I didn't buy it then, but I want to buy it now, I'd say, well, you know, I mean, it's looking a lot better in the perspective here. Understand you might still get cut in half, but at least it's not cut in 3/4 or, you know, like 90%. But no, what you're looking for now is to see this play out in a bullish fashion or just break down. I have some great news here though. With where we're moving in the direction of the stochastic, the last time we were this oversold in the weekly was right about here. And that was after we bottomed out in support at 5.6. And even though we didn't break out, we made a 50% move almost. Actually, no. What am I talking about? Like a 90% move. So like now all of a sudden, when everybody was all fucking optimistic and I'm sitting here like, oh God, guys, how many times did I come on here with my title and say, this doesn't feel right? I don't care that the price is going up. There's no volume. And this isn't right. It shouldn't be going up. It went up 82% the last time we were this oversold in the weekly. Now, mind you, it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks to finally reverse. Actually, it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But if you want to talk from the support hit, finally right here. This is squeezing though. Resistance, support. Resistance, support. It's squeezing. Smaller resistance, higher support. Right? We're squeezing. We've identified the pattern within a pattern. This is good news. This isn't bad news. The only bad news would be if you bought it up here at the top. The good news is if you can start cycling in here, this is good news. You've been waiting for this pattern to set up for over 4 years. This is great news. Not just that, we've drained out liquidity like I've never seen in my 4.5 years in crypto. So, but in no way, no how am I telling you to buy XRP at 250 or 240 just because I think the cycle ends, you know, 539 to 6 or 549 to 638 or whatever the targeting is that we've had forever before these big breakouts even occurred. I'm not telling you to buy it. I don't think XRP is the best deal. I've been saying this time and time again. Like, would you have bought? Let me just ask you. Would you have bought XRP at $1.38 or IOTA at 8.5 cents? That's what you gotta ask yourself. Would you have bought XRP at 240, or do you think VeChain has more upside at 1.8 cents? Like that, those are the questions you significantly have to ask yourself. Like on the big drop, was your mindset, I'm buying XRP at $1.40? Or were you buying algo at 13, 12, 11 cents instead? It's all about perception. It's all about mindset. I can't tell you what to buy. All I know is I was buying XRP at 34 and I got one gift at 38. The 38's been gone since we made that top in January. The 34-cent XRP is never going anywhere until I get an opportunity to get more. Well, Tom, when do you get more? Well, I mean, it would probably be on that pushback down to 10 cents even when it happens. And then I give it, well, what do you mean 10 cents? I'm not saying today, I'm not saying tomorrow, but I'm saying at some point, if this pattern doesn't project out the way it should, you'll end up finding yourself on a retest of the 2020 low that and Nick knows, we have never retested that 10.2 cent area or 10.6 or whatever it was. All the way back from the lawsuit announcement in 2020. So let's not start now. What I can say is I'm proud of the fact that I stuck to my conviction with that $1.50 pesky FVG, and I was convinced we couldn't go further up without clearing it. I know we've cleared that by a long shot, and in fact, we even came down farther and tapped the $1.34-ish area, 37, which makes it even better because that was the initial breakout, and ended up pushing up. I mean, think about it this way. Let me tell you all a story. So if you want to accumulate XRP so let's just do an example here. In 2 years, do you think Epic at 98 cents is going to be more or less expensive than XRP? I'm just asking a question. Do you think in a year XRP can rotate over more times than IOTA, Xing itself? Do you think that XRP can outperform XDC in the same given time frame? If the answer is no, and you haven't bought in yet, well, you should take your money, and then you should try to find the proportional one to what you're looking for and the one with the most opportunity in your own opinion. And you try to ride these, and then in time, you can end up buying the XRP for free because you've moved up so much faster. So act like XRP is the rate of inflation. And I'm being serious. For any of the economic geeks, let's take all the bullshit out of this. I'll tell you how easy this is. So look at XRP as the inflationary coin. XRP, for all purposes, is the US dollar. We're trying to keep up with the rate of inflation or deflation, but in this case, inflation, as the price is going to continue to go up. Now, you look at your other tokens and say, is this going to have a greater return from today than XRP? And if you have a bigger rate of return, you'll end up, by definition, you'll be able to, by design, buy more XRP even if you miss the boat. And it'll come through the profits of whatever else there is. But that's a risky game. My suggestion is forget all the other bullshit and stay within the 3Xs. Historically, when we were going through this, for a long time, we would talk about how XLM was within 3.7 or maybe 4.2 to 1 of XRP. It's like 8 to 1 now. We would talk about how XDC from XRP, I think it was on a relative term, it was about, what, 12 to 1 usually? Roughly. 15 to 1 if it got real bad. We've never seen this disparity between XDC and XRP. Oh, it's absolutely possible XRP sees 2. For frick's sake, we just seen $1.34. Hell, on Binance, we seen under $1 again. So for everybody who's like, oh, let me see $1, the hell we won't. The exchanges will do what the exchanges do, but it has to be things like this. So, and then it's like we go through a lot of this stuff, and it's like, where are we finding liquidity on the bottom side? Crypto Fear and Greed Index, let's see if it updated. Still at 34, and it updates in an hour and 31 minutes. We've got the liquidity maps. And it's like, where are we finding this liquidity below? Like, I have an honest question. Where's the liquidity below? I've never seen the liquidity map that dark. And that's for Bitcoin? You think that's dark? Wait until we go to XRP. You think there's no liquidity down below for Bitcoin? I mean, this is... I've never seen this. It's because of the way it cleared it. And you couldn't have seen this before. You couldn't have seen this before because it's never happened. Crypto's never had that kind of volatility like that. We had our first $20,000 candle for Bitcoin, and it was in the wrong fucking direction. Go figure. This is a nice, easy way to clear out liquidity, folks. It's the easiest of ways. And then everybody is like, oh, it's over. Is he shaking head yet? Oh, yeah, I got him. Hook, line, and sinker, baby. Let's let this load because apparently, you know. But look at that liquidity or lack thereof below, guys. Like, seriously, what are we going after down here? Can we at least go up to build this liquidity a little bit? Any of my friends out there who have been watching the heat map for any length of time, have you ever seen that before? Below? Ever? It's crazy. My mind's... It's just like watching gold worth more than Ethereum. My mind's still not comprehending it. It's like, come on, Ethereum, just get back above so everything's right again. Yeah, so what this means is that if they... So basically, remember how the market dropped 65% and had historic liquidation and $1.8 million were liquefied? This whole thing was lit up a week ago. Below. There was so much liquidity below, it was one of our big problems. Now, if it goes down there, there's nothing. I mean, I've been showing this liquidation map for years, and I've never seen this. So it's like when everybody got afraid, I'm sitting here going, oh my God, this is the right conditions to accumulate. And obviously, it was better 70% ago. Like, Would I be more skeptical of buying IOTA at 14? Maybe, only because I got a chance at 8.5 after selling it at 17.4 or whatever. And 8 hours later, I didn't know it was going to happen right then, but I knew it was going to happen. I didn't know it was going to happen that big, but I knew it was going to happen. So I was able to go, I got to step out of the way for a minute. But there's rhymes and reasons, you know. You don't step out of the way of XRP right there if you're looking for it for the rest of this run. Unless you are very confident. But I didn't step out of the way. I have different ways with XRP. And you guys know the story behind it. So, I mean, look at the liquidity. But there's a lot more. I still think if we're going to come down again, why wouldn't it tap that upper bounds? Like, if it comes down, it almost seems pointless. So they're going to come down here and get nothing? And you want liquidity if they want further pull downs too. If they want to have liquidity to push extreme pushes, there's nothing here. In fact, I mean, it's pretty much hanging like a bull flag. This could be the most cynical plot ever put in. Remember that short that I still say is the government? He had the first short hours before he opened up a new fucking user for futures, and he shorted and made a whole shitload of money. And then had the second short. Well, he closed that short. I still think that's the government trying to trick everybody. Mr. Stott, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for the 3 months plus with the XRP Meteor. Said, we're late, but we're here. So Mrs. Stott is also watching. Welcome in, Mrs. and Mr. Stott. I appreciate it. John Hall. There's Mrs. Stott. See, I knew it. Thank you so much, John Hall, for tuning in. Thanks for being in Tom's Army 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. Mr. Bank Floor Closer, do you think XRP might get to $20 in this cycle? No. I think we're going to have a run to $10 to $20 in its life cycle, though, yes. When? Who knows? But on this cycle, I'm firmly focused on that 549 to 639 topping area. Doesn't mean it has to end, but that's a reasonable top for this cycle. It's reasonable. And it's within the realm of possibility because it was set up prior to this move. But I do think we're going to get that opportunity at some point, Mr. Bank Foreclosure, but I don't know when. But I think it's more reasonable to expect what I was saying. There is no cycle for the time frame. We don't know because we don't know when it starts. So I can't tell you that, Shane. We got to see where it starts. Remember, no other altcoin besides XRP and a couple sparingly have experienced any kind of alt season. XRP, I don't even really consider it an altcoin because until the lawsuit stopped happening, it had Ethereum by the nutsack. So you really looked at Bitcoin, XRP, then Ethereum, just not by pricing, but knowing market cap. So it was basically teabagging Ethereum until that happened, and it will again one day. So, you know, we look for guidance through these tokens. There's no doubt about it. And then you go through it and you're like, XDC. Well, we were looking at XDC. I think they have it on here. No, maybe not. See, nobody gives a rat's ass about XDC. It's a shame. No XLM on here. I find that hard to believe. No, not XRP. Really? There's no XLM on here? I'll be damned. They have ZIL on here, but not fucking XLM? What? How that? See, that's an insult to see what Ethereum's looking like. I mean, that is toast below. You basically got to get up to 4,800 just to find some decent volatility. There's a big volatile hole up there. You got these smaller doses, but you get that even bigger on the way up to the big dose. I don't know. Bitcoin's another one that's scary when you look at how little volatility there is below until you get a lot deeper. And yes, I know the volatility under $1,000 for Bitcoin, but that's not even in question right now. Nice head and shoulders, it looks like, right? We'll see. We'll see if this falls all the way back through and comes into the liquidity zone that has no liquidity. Almost feels like a trap. We'll see what ends up happening here. We'll see what happens. But man, is that crazy that it just cleared it all out. Literally took it all. And then when you look at long versus shorts, we've got, let's see, we'll do it from the daily perspective. In Bitcoin right now, we've got, cumulatively, I like the look, 50% long, 50.1% long. Oh, it's basically even. It's not even, 50-50. 50-50, long versus short on Bitcoin. Ethereum, slightly more longs than shorts now, flip from earlier. Bitcoin, slightly more shorts. I mean, it's so close, but it's by the hair. 41.3 billion shorts, 41.1 billion longs. Or I mean, 40.1, yeah. So it is a tiny bit more shorts. What did XRP say? XRP has 51.47% long or short, 48.5% are going long. So more short than long even for XRP. Interesting. Oops. See what XLM. XLM has 52.4% are going short, 47.5. So yeah, there's more short than long. It's separating a little bit. That's nice to see. What about XDC? They have this excellent. XDC 50.3% going short, 49.6% going long. Not as much money as you can see coming in for those. Yeah. Interesting indeed. Let's go back to Bitcoin one last time. Bitcoin 50.09% short, 49.91% long. What's going on? Holy moly. What happened? Oh boy. Where's this at? Oh yeah, Kramer, he came out yesterday or the day before I said too. He said, now's the time to rotate out of crypto and blah, blah, blah and put it into this sector. And now he said, Tom, did you see Kramer said Americans who own Bitcoin may lose everything today? Unbelievable. It's a good time. Where was that question at, Big Dog? I did a... What the hell is going on? I gotta figure this out. Who... Diggers. I don't know what to do. Diggers, I lost everything. Where the hell does this start? I need to see where this starts. We need to have a phone. We might need to have a phone call. We might need to have a call in. This might be something. We might need to talk about this. I don't know if Diggers is going to want to talk about this. Here, Diggers. Send me an email. Right here, I'm gonna put my email on here. Send me an email. Tell me who you are. I'll give you a number. Or you can give me your number and I'll call you. Actually, send me your number and I'll just call you. Because then I can call you on the spot. I think this would be a perfect number 3 call. I think we need to do this. I think we need to do this. Oh, this sucks. This is the worst part about crypto. But I didn't see the initial comment. What happened? The credit union? That is brutal. That's the sour taste of crypto right there. That's why crypto is. Ooh, it's tough. It is tough. Crypto fear greed index is at 34. Let's go back here and take a look. Some said gold popped back over 40. Oh my goodness. Gold's over 42. Silver closed above 53. Oh my. Look at our miners, everybody. They're just going fucking ballistic. Oh my god. Anyhow. Let me take a look. Obviously, I have to wait for the contact from our friend. Big Dog Tom, I tried to cash out some of my crypto, but banks will let me buy but not sell into my account, Tom. Huh. It's starting already, is it? It's starting, isn't it? I've sold, I mean, not in the past few weeks back in my bank account, but I'm going to have to do a test here soon and just send some money off. This is bullshit. But we want more and more government overreach, right? The more government overreach, the more this happens. Actually, Big Dog, if you send me a message, we'll see what happens here, because both of these are good calls. Both of these are good calls. Who knows? Who knows how this live is going to go tonight? But send me a message. strutrugali@gmail.com. Strutrugali. Yeah, the good thing about crypto.com is you can actually send, but it's all turning to shit. But I'm waiting on the email from Diggers if he wants to. It's going to be perpetually worse as we go on. Like, I don't want to, I hate this for all of us. But remember, I got an out for you. If your banks won't let you go to Scottsdale Mint and you can use your crypto to buy gold and silver, trade some crypto for silver. Go sell your silver or gold at a pawn shop. You'll get anything less than spot. You know, the overages on spot that they charge. You'll get the spot price, though. So, you may lose a little bit in processing or whatever the case may be, but do what you got to do. ScottsdaleMint.com. If you want to go back in time to my series that I haven't talked about in a long time, but it's on here. I have a crypto, my silver stacking series that I was very happy to do back in the day. And I did a lot of videos. And I think I did 8 or 10 videos. I did a great thing for the newbies. The silver gold ratio was 88-1 then. And let's see where the price
early
was.
Afternoon.
So silver was at $23. Gold was at $1,921. Barrett gold was at $18.99. Ken Ross $468. Fortuna was at $376. B2 gold was at $408. Yeah, see, that I had a different. Platinum was up there, so I went through a bunch of stuff on those. And then we got the update number 8, but see, the views are about 389 views or so. Not everybody liked them, but where was the pricing at? I always like to see the pricing. 1973 for gold and 2239 Fortuna 349. Oh my goodness, yeah, I remember this. But anyhow, we have a whole series there if you want to go back and take a look. I talked about Scottsdale Mint on episode... I love that, episode 7. Bull run on hold, gold, silver, must do this. Silver stacking up. How to buy silver and gold via crypto. It's this one.
Okay.
So, I went through and there's the whole thing about Scottsdale Mint. I show you how to do it at live. I buy it on here through Scottsdale Mint. In a couple of these videos, I actually do it live right here. So I actually bought it live on here in real time. And this was all the way back in 2023-ish. Let's see, and at the time, where was the price of gold? Gold was at, look at the DXY was at 104. Gold was at 1,834 on this day when we were buying. Well, we bought mostly silver here. Can't imagine I would have bought, for the masses, the gold. I would have bought silver because it was all about silver stacking in this episode. What the hell was the price of silver? That's fine. Eventually I would have to move down and show it. Maybe not. Maybe I was stubborn on this episode. 21.56. My God. When I was showing you guys how to buy this on Silver Stackers to trade your crypto for it because we had some serious profit, $21.56 was the price of silver. My God. Those are all in the vault, ladies and gentlemen. Tom, if we get you a burner phone, you could use it for calls just during the lives, and we could just text you our phone numbers. Then you could call us if we're in the chat with no email lag. Not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Not seeing any email, so Tom, look at your email. I am looking at my email. I've been looking at it. I don't see anything from anybody unless it's in the spam section. Unless it was typed in wrong because it didn't go to me. I don't have anything in my email for some reason. I've refreshed it. I refresh it every 2 seconds. I've been doing that this whole time, to be honest with everybody. I don't know why. What the heck? Yeah, I don't have anything. I went through my spam messages too. I don't see anything. For some reason. Am I surprised? No, I am not surprised. That it is not working the way it's supposed to. Make sure that it's strutrugali@gmail.com. STRUTRUGALI@gmail.com. It's a weird one. I don't know why it's not showing up. About to have our third ever call-in, Julie. About to have our third ever call-in. We're just having for some reason I'm not getting the number. It said that they sent it to my email, but I'm not getting anything in my email.
Go to all mail or look in your spam.
I did go to all mail. Look, there's nothing there. Ah, fine. There we go. It just came through, Mr. Scott. That's Big Dog. So Big Dogs came through. Big Dogs came through. So I know it's working. I didn't see anything from you though, Digger, for some reason. Facebook could work without divulging any numbers. Yeah, Big Dog, I seen yours, my friend. I see yours. So at least I know they're coming through. That's a good thing to see. But so XRP though, let's look at this very short term. This very short term. So even shorter than this. Let's take this down. Got this little setup here. So even if it stays within here, you could have this support structure set up. Around 228-ish is where I keep thinking that is a reasonable area. I hate email. I always have lag. Yeah, there's always problems with everything. Unfortunately. Bitcoin, I mean, it reversed pretty nicely today after that pull down. We'll see if we get some kind of reversal there. We talked about this yesterday, but let's get rid of all of this. So we talked about the up, the slight. Now this is just in the way. This is when we were watching Jerome Powell. We had to kind of pass time because we were legitimately, we were seconds away from sticking our head inside of a beehive. That's how painful it was to watch Jerome get some stupid award that he didn't deserve. Hey, you haven't done nothing in 10 years. Here's an award for doing nothing. Geez, I guess SpongeBob was right. There is an award for everybody. Remember Patrick Star got an award for being the laziest, whatever the hell he was, or the stupidest thing in Bikini Bottom? They proved Jerome Powell there's an award for everybody. I mean, if you want to give out your phone number to everybody, Frankie Fresh, I mean, you could certainly do that. But I wouldn't advise it. I have 47,000 people that follow me, and I know most videos get 1,000 or 1,200 views, but it ends up finding its way into the wrong hand, and then you're gonna end up getting some BS from somebody. I don't really want that. There's too many scammers, unfortunately. So, Big Dog, what happened with you? What happened with Big Dog? Oh yeah, Big Dog can't withdraw from the bank. So here, we'll start with Big Dog, and if it works and I get diggers, I'll also do that as well. But let me start with Big Dog. So Big Dog, I'm gonna call you, and we're gonna make this work. We'll make this work, if that's okay. And I think this will be nice. So let's try this. Let's see what's gonna happen, and let's hear the story of why withdrawals in the USA are having problems to banks right now. So there's no other way to find it out but to get into the, go deep into it. So I suppose that's what we're gonna do right now. So here we go. Let me make sure, Mr. Scott.
Call has been forwarded.
The call has been forwarded to a voice automated system. I'm gonna have to go another time. I'm in the middle of selling my vehicle. I did send it. I will be looking for it until it comes here. We got sent the voicemail. Here we go. Now we're getting the phone call back. Hello, Mr. Scott.
Tom, my main man from Michigan.
How's it going, buddy?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Pretty good. I mean, can't complain.
Well, what my issue was, so I'm able to buy all of the crypto I want. So I went to go sell some of my crypto just to, get some money off the exchange.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm dealing with crypto.com, by the way. I could not sell back into my bank account. So I went to my bank and they're like, yeah, we don't deal with crypto, which was weird because I'm like, well, why are you letting me buy it? So I ended up opening up a Chase account because I think they like Jamie Dimon or something like that over Chase, and he's supposed to be like all in crypto or whatever. So I ended up going there and I went and opened an account and they're like, yeah, we're not dealing with crypto either. And I'm like, this is weird. So I'm having an issue with taking money off the chain. So I went through crypto.com and got their prepaid card. And I have not tried to take the money and put it on there. And because of my thing is, how do you get besides swiping, how do you get cash if you wanted cash?
ATM.
You don't have a PIN.
Well, yeah, you do. You have to create a PIN.
You do?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you for telling me. So that, I guess that would be one way. So I have to do increments of 500, I guess.
Yeah, until you move up to the Ruby level, then it's 1,000. It's like depending on how much crypto.com you have is the kind of card you can get, as you know.
Right. So did you set your PIN up like at the ATM, or did you set your PIN up when you got your card?
when I got my card. When I set it up initially, it asks you to do your PIN and all that kind of stuff. When you first get it sent to you, you go through it. So when it comes in the mail,
Okay.
because you'll get a physical
Well, maybe
copy
I'm
at
brain
first.
farting on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'm brain farting on it. So I'll check that out. I'll just send some money into that and then try that out. I was a little skeptical of it, but I remember you saying you had gotten the card. So
That's my
to
main.
get
Yeah.
the card, 'cause I didn't.
Whoops. Sorry.
Yeah. When you got it, it made me want to get it. So.
Yeah, and it's ironic because I actually have a Chase account that I send from crypto.com, and I've never had an issue sending it there. So, here's the thing, like, I've never sold the crypto directly into my account. So what I've always done is turned it back into USD and then withdrew it as a USD, so dollar to dollar, not as a crypto being sold back into my actual bank account. I pay the fee and, have it turned back into USD if I have to. Which will cost you a few dollars if it's in USDT, but I don't ever, let's say you have XRP on crypto.com and you want to turn it back to the bank. I have that back in cash in the USD before I try to withdraw it. So I'm not trying to withdraw crypto into my bank account. Now onto the crypto.com Visa. That very well could be, because I can imagine if you're trying to trade your crypto into it, they're going to say any reason they can to keep it on the exchange.
Okay, yeah. See, I started in January, Tom, and
No, this is perfect.
I did not know that. So now I need to know to put it back in the USDC before trying to take it out. I'll try that out, and I'll email you, or I'll, on the next live or something.
Well, we can continue. I mean, when you figure this out, I would, not saying you have to hang up just yet, but I would love to get the continuation of this. Like, this is a part of the show I want to expand on, where we can get real live voices from the real live chat from everybody we know, because we can trust. Like, we know you. We've seen you in here for a long time. You're not just making it up to make it up. So this is very helpful. And like you said, you just started in January. So how are you supposed to know that you can't sell it from XRP to your bank account like they tell you you should be able to? That's a part of crypto.
Right.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So I would try that.
I need to go back in the USDC and then try to put it back in my account.
I think
I'll try that out.
I think for crypto.com I think it wants it in USD though, because there's a separate account to withdraw it off. I think USD you convert it into.
Oh, USD. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I got to go back and look.
Convert it into-
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about, because it has like an American flag or something.
Yep,
like
that's
with
it. That's the
something
one.
like that.
That's our US. That's United States dollar. That's the one.
Okay, so if I sell crypto, sell it into that, and then I can have it deposited into my account.
Yes, you have to.
Okay.
That's how I would do it, because otherwise, I don't think they're going to do it anywhere in the USA. That's why we had to have a phone call, because at least this is something that hopefully will have an easier solution.
Yes, Tom, thank you, man. You helped me out so much on that one, because I was kind of, that's why I was asking people in the other live the other day, and Mr. Scott had said something, and
I did not
to
even
me
see
today
it.
about it.
I apologize. I didn't even
you-
see that in the
you got-
comments.
No, you're doing amazing work. So I don't expect you to see everything that comes on that screen.
I appreciate the grace as well. Thank you.
Yes, most definitely.
But I mean, other than that, how's life?
Everything's good. Just doing soccer with my kids and raising them, hauling gas.
American dream, so they say.
That's it. I did want to ask you one last thing before I get off here.
Yep.
Now, as far as crypto goes, I was listening to Benjamin Cohen, because I listen to other people too when you're not on, and he was talking about the dominance, and then he was talking about everything believes to Bitcoin. Is that like always like that? Has it always been that way?
Well, I mean, at least for the history so far, aside from rare moments, and I don't know if you can still see the YouTube live or not, but I pulled up the dominance chart. Aside from rare moments of time, and you can only go back into so many bull cycles, but for the majority, in the beginning, Bitcoin controlled almost 100% of everything that came in. Then we got into our first real cycle down here in 2018, 17, and it dropped to 35%. So even then, $35 out of every 100 was going to Bitcoin. It's always traditionally been like this. When you get to a peak before a bull season for alts, you always come up to this rejection line. It seems like 21 we did it. Now all of a sudden in 25 we're doing it. So I think as we traject back down to the 45 percentile here, that's when this real alt season, that's when it actually kicks in. And we're starting to get that rejection. It hasn't happened 100 yet because it's not ready. But it's always been like this. So much capital flows into Bitcoin, even though there's so many different tokens. But yeah, historically, unfortunately, more times than not, it's flowed mainly into Bitcoin. So yeah.
Yeah, he was like pretty much all just bleed to everything. I'm just like, dang, well, what the heck is going on? When do we have our time in the sun? You know,
we get our small moments. But if you want to hear the truth, like what I show, it's in a bearish pennant, and technically it can go all the way to 2032 with Bitcoin dominating anywhere between 45 and maybe a little bit lower. And, you know, upper boundaries of 60, 65%, and that can go on for years still. But the problem, the good news is if we have a further injection of capital, there's more money to ticker in. But I don't think it's going to trickle so much into the memes as much as they used to. I think that's where the IoT, the ISO, and the AI and the RWAs, that's where they're going to get more of the capital. I think what happens is not necessarily we're going to get all the flow from Bitcoin. We're going to start to get the capital from all the junk meme tokens that usually collected some of it, and they're all going to go away eventually. Once we actually have a utility run, no one's going to waste their time. I firmly believe that.
Now,
well, some will.
Right. Now, once we get, like, if we happen to get mass adoption, that will decouple us from Bitcoin, correct?
In theory, it should. If it doesn't, that means we're really not getting mass adoption, and they can say whatever they want. But if we stay coupled to Bitcoin, there really is no mass adoption outside of the biggest Ponzi scheme on the planet, which is my concern. That Michael Saylor and all these corporations and countries are now pushing the price. And what happens when the first margin call happens? Like, it was great that it went to 101, but what happens if it would have went to 61? You know, what happens to all these people that are top heavy? What kind of... So I would rather we get through this cycle without seeing that, because we're going to see that eventually. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen, unfortunately. But...
Okay. So what happened last November, that wasn't considered like a bull run or anything? Like, I kind of came out, just saw people on YouTube dancing and celebrating like around January, like December, and I'm like, what is this?
It wasn't in the sense a proper bull market. What ended up happening is just severe bull traps in the altcoins that everybody thought were just going to follow XRP, and like Solana and Chainlink and some of the ones like what Bitcoin did early. There was no real alt season. So no, in a sense, yeah, you got a couple 100%, but that's only by virtue of how much they dropped out 99%. All we really had was like the world's biggest, hey, the politicians are pushing crypto. They sent these donations. You really don't think they're just donating to the politicians, these big business and corporations, for nothing. So they rise the price a little bit, make everybody happy, they sell out, but we really didn't get a bull season. Bitcoin did, XRP did, a few others did, like Solana and Chainlink and such. But for the rest, I can point at 99 out of every XRP, out of every one XRP, there's 99 others that are still at least 90% below 2021 levels. So I think it's been a facade so far. That's why I think this is going to be the weirdest cycle, where XRP, it looks the best right now. It feels the best, but I think it'll underperform going forward just by virtue of it's already up 8x or 7x. So, and it's been, so I don't really think we've had a proper bull season yet, aside from a few of the chosen ones, so to say.
Right. And that's what made me join you, because I like was listening to everybody else, and like Crypto Sensei and all of them, and they're like 10,000 this and 5,000 next week, and I'm like, what's going on? Let me buy a couple hundred real quick.
And that's exactly.
I saw your live, and I'm like, this dude sounded 10 times more reasonable. And I just started watching more and more of your live, and I was like, yeah, okay, it's all making more sense.
Yeah.
So that's what made me join Tom's Army. So
Oh, I appreciate
yeah,
it.
I thank you for just keeping it real and not selling hopium. And I hate to see people come in and argue with you because you're just not selling the hopium like everybody else. So
That's why they argue with me.
that's
They
what
want
I
me to.
respect about you. Right. That's what I respect about your YouTube page. So I just wanted to tell you that. I'm glad I got to say it to you face to face. Well, not face to face, but over the phone.
No, I appreciate it, man. I really, really do. Means a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Glad we got to talk too.
Yeah.
Glad we got
Yes,
to talk.
well, I'll let you get back to
Yes,
everybody and doing what you're doing. I thank you for everything, man.
Oh, you're welcome. Be blessed, my friend, and give the family my love.
Yes, sir. You too, sir.
Yes, sir. Have a good one. Bye, my friend. Until later. See, how nice is that? How nice was that? Thank you so much, my friend. Like, seriously. Get to know some people. But Big Dog, honestly, thank you so much for that. And I know we've been here an hour. I gotta start getting to the other part of my day now because my son is getting back up. Julie, is he up now? You're about to do his feeding? Okay. So, but yeah, we'll end it there. Thank you so much, Big Dog. I will cut that out and I will share that on its own once I have the ability, when it finally shares my page, so that everybody can hear through that, and that'll help some. That'll help some. But keep us updated, Big Dog. I would love to talk to you again. And I would love to be a bigger part of the format. This was our third live in call, so it's getting better and better as we go. So be blessed, everybody. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you for the kind words. It's nice to hear the voice of some of the audience, and I'm sure for the audience, it's nice to hear somebody besides me. So be blessed, everybody.